Hello, this is Bug News, and today we're going to talk about after, excuse me, it's a mouthful. After happily ever after, and as you know, this is like a new dating show. It moves. I'm gonna tell you right now, it moves fast, and I think like on some of the reality shows, especially some of the dating shows, they kind of build up a narrative, but this one moves really fast, so you got to pay attention. Um, we'll talk about some of the ops part later, what I mean by that, and in that aspect, but not in this one, not in this commentary. So, as you know, you have the daters and you have the exes. So the exes picks the daters match at the singles party. And then the exes can love them or leave them, but if they love them, they I think they got like 48 hours before they dump them at the dump event. I forgot what that's called, but when they love them or leave them. And as you know, some of the cast members, it's a 7 couples, so some of the cast members, as you know, Peter Guns, Tara Wallace, Amina Butterfly. Peter gets to choose Tara's ex, and Amina chooses Peter's date. I'm sorry. Peter chooses Tara's date, and Amina chooses Peter's date. You have Jeremy Meeks and Melissa Meeks. So Jeremy's famous, I guess, the villain model, or something like that. In that aspect, and Melissa is basically just living a normal life. But of course, Peter and Amina and Tara from Love and Hip Hop, and I actually think the first franchise of Love and Hip Hop. And then you have Nicole Ward and Mike is from 95 South, and whoop, there it is. Those I guess party anthems. And Nicole has a business. And you have Amarachi Odinama and Ugo Makadu. So Amarachi is supposed to be some type of journalist, award-winning journalist, I think, and award-winning journalist. And Ugo is supposed to be some type of motivational speaker, author, TV actor, fashion line owner who flew from Nigeria to America to meet Amina. Sounds really wild though, but anyway. And you have Pam Taylor and Troy Taylor. So Troy is supposed to have been in the music industry a while back, but currently he's a nursing practitioner. And I think Pam is a licensed pharmacy tech. So they both in the medical field and into that aspect. But they've been married the longest out of everyone. They had the longest marriage out of everyone. And Justin and Nana. So these two been dating since high school, and I think they both probably also like social media people. At least one of them is in that aspect. And then I've been doing some more research, and supposedly Shar Jackson's supposed to appear on the show. So I don't know. She's going to be a dater, so I don't know how that's going to play out. But let's get into this. Like I said, the show moves pretty fast. I mean, when I say fast, it moves pretty fast. It's, the dynamics of it changes, and then it picks up. So, Peter appears to want to parlay his situation. With his, how Peter is, and what he's done in the past. So he still seems to be on that kind of tip, in my personal opinion. Justin and Aries still kicking it. So only 2 people, as you know from last episode. We're talking about episode 2, season 1, and Justin and Aries, and it was just Peter and I think Anika. Pam, as you remember from the last episode, Darius, they made out, went off. We just speculating, and then she dumped Darius. And I think mostly not due to Darius, just the fact that Ugo picked Darius too. So maybe she didn't want that funny vibe in the house. But Pam seems a lot more calmer in the second episode, maybe Troy was like, look, don't be thoughting on this TV here, you know. Go behind the trash can or something. But anyway, so Pam says she likes a gentleman with great values and believes in something. Okay, I guess she had to get something out of her system in the first episode. But anyway, but turns out Mike said he likes Pam. Pam kind of chuckled and said, "Well, I can't guarantee anything." But she entertained the thought. So, so Nicole and Mike kind of found out they're 18 years apart, and Nicole had to remind Mike of the assignment, of what he's supposed to do when he's picking these people. And of course, Jeremy's looking for Polly. He had to remind his wife that he's looking for Polly. I guess she still doesn't understand. She understands it, but she doesn't understand it because I guess when he was married, he wasn't that way. And then some people say, that's what's going on now. So I don't know. So Pam doesn't want any more kids. As she was telling her husband, ex-husband Troy, as far as what the situation is and what she's looking for. So, and that should have been a requirement when he was picking the singles. Hey, some of these people already got kids. I think Pam got like at least 4. So after that, you're really not trying to start over. And same with Tara, she really didn't want any kids. Tara was upset with Peter's selection and kind of gave him an assignment in her Tara fashion. But Tara says she's shy later on in the episode and quiet. I'm like, what? That love and hip hop will change you. I tell you. But anyway, only downside of this, they don't bring in fresh new singles. They recycle the singles. So if the single get kicked back, he or she is back at the singles party. Yeah. Sounds like some Hollywood type of stuff to me. Celebrity stuff. Everybody's in the same circle or whatever. Allegedly, of course. But so during the singles party, Peter chooses a guy named Winthrop. Troy chooses Rod, who used to be an ex-basketball player. I don't know how long he played, but he's wearing his wild flower suit. He's supposed to be a fashion designer. Of course, he's out in California, so not California, Hollywood in particular. So he Hollywood weird. Pam didn't kind of feel him at first because he's kind of tall and stuff like that. But and then Mike chose Cornelius for Nicole, and Ugu picked Asan for Amarachi, and Melissa chose Tina. And Pam was concerned with Troy's selection of Rod because he looks non-traditional. I mean, you see a guy with a flower suit on and a Pharrell hat. Yeah, that's a little non-traditional. And Tara was not feeling Wendell, I guess, because he was a little too straight up and down. I guess she's saying she like a little Peter thug in her man or something. Who's going to kind of do whatever Peter thugs do. But that's neither here nor there. So, Asan and Amarachi not working. Because Amarachi is ready to do a Pam on Asan. You see, these women in their 30s, I guess they're in their 30s, they know how to pump them and dump them. Then move on and say, that was an experience. But Asan wasn't down with it. He too much stuck on himself, apparently. But Nicole and Cornelius were in a hot tub. And Nicole said, some things. And so she invited him back to her and her ex's room, or whatever room they have. I guess it's a set aside room if you want to get to know somebody up close and personal. And then she came back and he was asleep. I said he probably popped in the hot tub and was tired. Some people only good for one. 2 or 3 you might not get out of them, if you know what I'm talking about. So she was a little upset. She gave him a second chance. Well, she had to give him a second chance anyway because he was there for 48 hours. Jeremy currently has 2 partners, so why is he on the show? You're looking for a third? He ain't got that much money. Polyamorous is still, in any relationship, finances come into a relationship. So I don't know. I mean, unless you got it like that, I don't know. So Aries and Justice still, they're still kicking it, wanting more affection from Justice, but Aries tried to make a move on Justice and he wasn't feeling it. I guess he wants to lead when he's ready to lead. So of course, that's was a lot of negative marks on Aries resume right now. So Nikki wants Peter to, be more affectionate and things, but you can't talk to Peter like that. You can't tell him what you want and then demand he do it, but and then tell him, he to lead and be a man. Peter don't want to hear nothing like that. We know Peter. Now the interesting thing happened. So first we had Cornelius and Nicole freaking in the hot tub. And then they go back and try to get it on. She literally was there to give it to him, and he didn't want it. I mean, if I was him, anyway. So, but they were playing Truth or Dare. So if something crazy gonna happen on Truth or Dare. So of course Peter gonna dare Tara to kiss Winthrop and say like you mean it. And so she kissed him, and I was like, well, who? I said Peter, So people still had comments about this, She said she was surprised, but I was just surprised he asked to do that. So then, Amarachi changed the whole energy in the room. All right. Well, no, I take that back. Troy changed the whole energy in the room by asking Winthrop. I don't know why he asked Winthrop, but maybe because Tara is kind of probably the same situation with Pam. I think they both have, a couple of kids, and they're a little older in their life, and they may not want to have kids. So he deflected onto Tara and said, by asking Winthrop, as he said, truth, how do you feel about, you dating something one day you don't have any kids? So Winthrop said, no, I want to have kids, blah, blah, blah. Of course, so boop, he was on the chopping block in Tara's eyes. But then Amarachi, I think she did something, I forgot how it came about, but she basically threw all Ugo's business out there. I mean, random business, that personal business that he ain't taking care of his kids. He wanted the men to talk to him. He holding his head down. Like, man, was this a setup on national? It's on national TV. They could have edited it out, but anyway, so she so he ain't paying no child support, pay no bills, this and that. Can the men talk to him? I was like, oh Lord, he wasn't too happy about that. So that was kind of interesting, but he said he could show receipts of him paying bills, and of course Amarachi denying this, but people were saying they're fresh off their divorce, so they were saying that some wounds are still there. So Nikki was trying to knock Peter down, but we know Peter. So Jeremy and Tina got in the same bed, so he whatever happened. So of course Nicole basically giving him the platinum on the platter, and Cornelius falls asleep again. So I guess he ain't interested in Nicole. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe Nicole need to anyway, I ain't gonna go down that road. He started his motor up a little bit, but hey, I guess she saw it as a form of rejection if he come in there first time and he sleep. I guess if they was in a relationship and he would sleep, it would be a little different. So at the end, of course, Amarachi, she dumps a sign or a saying, say he wasn't affectionate enough. And then Amira says she doesn't really care what a guy looks like as long as he's affectionate, he's working, and he's treating her well. So he's gone. He's back into the dater cesspool on the show. Recycle. Justin drops Aries, of course, because he made a move on her. No, excuse me. Aries made a move on Justin. He ain't like it. They kissing on camera. He act like he ain't never kissed a woman before, in my opinion. And so, but he expressed, said, this, because he said he's not the type to open up. He come off kind of like a little cray-cray to me, but that's probably, in these politically correct times, I probably can't even say that, but we'll see how this develops. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. And then, of course, if the person is there, your ex is not there during that time, because it can go on. They only come back when you're dumped someone, and you have to, pick another single person. So Tyra's going to keep Winthrop, although she said, she'll consider, the kid thing. Pam dumped another one. Yeah, guess he ain't had a fire that she was looking for. Jeremy kept Tina, and Nicole, of course, dumps Cornelius. So this is basically what happened on this season 1, episode 2. We trying to figure out how Shar Jackson going to end up on here, but unless she's going to be on the dating thing, which, like I told you, this recycling of daters kind of got that celebrity dating pool vibe to it, But that's just my opinion. I mean, I would have brought in fresh new singles. It's just me. But this is Bug News. Like I said, the show moves pretty fast. Has a lot of dynamics to it, and the energy changes real quick. It's not like they kind of build a narrative and you add on 2 people in an episode, or 2 or 3 people, and then other ones come in later. Nah, this thing is like moving like a torpedo. But anyway, this is Bug News. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and thank you very much.